Hello! Zachary back with you here at Practically Social and a special 25th episode. I'll be taking you on a deep dive into one of humanity's most provocative concerns, our quest for power and the struggles we have with powerlessness. There is power in powerlessness. By the end of the video, you'll have some serious questions to ask yourself, and you'll also be able to identify the central role that power plays in our everyday lives. Why is this important? As a catalyst, it's important for me to encourage your inquiries behind the curtain of your daily life, to make you think about your thinking, and ultimately to help you decide if you wish to change any of the ways you think and behave. My objective is to encourage introspection. Introspection is one of the things I'm most grateful for. Secondly, I'm grateful for the collective knowledge that brought these heady ideas to my attention, made me pause, accept my circumstances, take responsibility and action, as well as made me see the incredible beauty of being alive. So I'm sharing this inspiration with you. Ready to go deep on power and powerlessness now? Let's get out our dive suits, shall we? Here's the background. We all want to feel powerful. Helping people reclaim power is at the heart of therapy and self-help. Generally speaking, when we have problems beyond the solutions we've already tried, we may choose to seek help from someone who has knowledge, experience, or training in resolving problems. Therapy offers us an objective viewpoint. It can give us feedback, opportunity for insight, reflection, validation, and more. Yet therapy and its empowerment mission often fails to acknowledge or address one of our most basic desires: the desire for attainment of perfection through the exertion of power. Empowerment on its own is a value I hold dear. Every day I hope to empower my clients. I strive to help them reclaim their power after emotional damage, relationship fallout, trauma, illness, and motivational destruction. Power in this sense isn't a bad thing. It helps raise many above their circumstances and live lives they subjectively deem as better. However, many people are also very comfortable in their lives by an objective standard, and they've got plenty of financial power which empowers them. However, for various reasons, they haven't fulfilled some ideal or goal they have for themselves, at which point they become disillusioned, disappointed, angry, depressed, or some combination. I'm referring to unmet emotional needs. At this point, they seek help in hopes of changing the outcomes they're currently experiencing. They want this emotional power back. The truth is they can never have enough power to make things as perfect as they wish they would be. We dream of perfection from the time we're children. We see the world with non-judgmental eyes, and we wish for our future. We create our personal version of the world that we choose. We build it in our mind. Others tell us that we can make all of this happen by various methods if we're diligent, talented, adaptable, or intelligent. Yet we grow up with the illusion of the perfect becoming a reality, without acknowledging that the structuring of anything we can perceive has some power behind it. It takes power to create the imperfect, much less what we consider perfect. Matter can neither be created nor destroyed, though there is always some power which can change its form. We want to be that power. We want the power to change and form things, people, institutions, outcome, and ideal happiness. When this doesn't happen according to our will, our brain struggles. Seems like it should happen because we're so capable and smart, right? We have, after all, been told how powerful we truly are. The process of falling short of our ideal can be so ego-destroying to us that we end up with several mental health concerns. That's when we seek help. Yet sadly, so many helpers fail to ever discuss this cleverly hidden trapdoor that drops us into therapy and self-help to begin with. They also fail to help us see how being powerless is a healthy, necessary part of our emotional and intellectual development. It gives us resilience. I want to take several minutes today to talk about key concepts that can help us let go and find the power in powerlessness. Because I believe that power seeking is one of the things that makes us human, yet it also makes us fearful. Conversely, admitting powerlessness can help us to just be which frees us from the chains that our constantly thinking, processing, problem-solving brain mantles us with. But wait a second. If we're power-seeking, and we have all these ideal things we want from life, isn't that a possibility? Of course achieving our dreams and contentment emotionally and spiritually is possible. Of course we have the capability to plan, execute, and realize extraordinary things. However, most of us fall short of that, and the reason I theorize we're so disappointed in ourselves as a result is because we perceive we lack the power to make it happen. The solution then, we reason, as mentioned in the book Alcoholics Anonymous so astutely, is that we need more power. If we just had more power, we could have everything we want. If we could manage the world, it would be our oyster. This idea is a myth because we are so powerless over so many things. The brain, of course, tells us it will figure out a way. If you don't believe that we're obsessed with an ideal world and our life being as ideal as possible, and that if we just use our power to make it happen, I offer 2 test questions. Why do we dream? Why do most movies follow the same formulas and plots? Why are movies with happy endings, marriage, having children, possessing magic, flying on dragons, indulging in fantasy, being a hero, saving the world, restoring order, getting revenge, being the funniest, the sexiest, bestsellers worldwide? Because all of these copycat narratives contain common elements. A problem is experienced, the problem needs power, power is presented, power is harnessed, power changes something, power gets the desired result. Roll credits. It reinforces the message that power is necessary to make things happen, and that if we just have some fantastic power, what we want will come to pass. These plots conveniently ignore probability and existentialism. Power-filled fantasies are successful in the world for one reason. We're fundamentally abhorred by the idea that we're mundane, human, or limited in power. Period. In our dissatisfaction of achieving the ideal, we're entertained by chasing after what makes us less mundane and more human, because that would prove we're powerful. Think about that for a minute. We hate not having power so much, we spend part of our lives consuming stories that place us in the dream where power is delivered to its fullest extent. And what happens? We deprive ourselves of just being and being powerless. Here's another example of our obsession with power, this time from the self-help world. Daily, thousands of people watch YouTube videos, purchase books, pay big money to go to seminars, learn yoga, do cleansing, hear a guru, and on. They hope to learn something that will empower them to overcome their difficulties. Knowledge is power. If we walk away with power that we purchased, we should be able to solve that problem and get back to perfect, right? I think I've made this point abundantly clear by hammering on it in this way, yeah? And I'm not saying that what I'm telling you will give you any power either, because really, the relationship between power, existence, and our happiness has been discussed since the dawn of time. Prophets, religions, teachers, the wise and the fools. Philosophers have been posing the ontological question, or what it means to be, for eons too. We spend all this time trying to figure out what it means to exist or to be, and yet we never fully understand. Power and powerlessness dynamics rarely seem to factor into the conversations I hear. It's usually just a question of what are we and why are we here, not what does power have to do with any of it. I think I have an answer of what it is to just be. And the answer is powerlessness. We have to let go of the idea that we're all powerful and we create everything. Just for a second. Because it's healthy for our overworked brain. Many Eastern thought leaders discuss the relationship between being, power, and our constantly interfering brain long before we lived. Here in our modern world, that begs the question, what is life without us being all powerful or powerless? What is power? Isn't there always something more powerful than us? The sun, Mother Nature. Certainly there's a power greater than us everywhere. Power that shapes and changes, creates and destroys. We can do all those functions, yet we have exponentially less power comparatively. We have to ask ourselves what power is, especially what it is outside our definition and understanding with our self-obsessed yet very limited brains. We can consider for a time that we have very small power comparatively to these aforementioned things. So small that we're powerless to alter many things happening simultaneously and everywhere. We're not in control of any of that. Nor am I implying there is something in control, just that there's some form of universal, uncontrollable power at all times, everywhere. We cannot equal nor overcome that power. We don't control supernovas, volcanoes, conflicts, ideology, the tides, or our thinking. That power comes and goes constantly, and we're oblivious. That is a universal, pervasive power beyond our human capability. Why then do we think we should possess this type of power in order to be satisfied? Why can't we embrace our powerlessness and comparative weakness? To welcome the power of being powerless. Won't we have freedom if we can give up the notion that everything has to be perfect, and that obtaining perfection proves we have power? Friends, I'm no philosopher. Look at my grades from college on the subject and you'll confirm this, at least from the professor's estimates. What I'm arguing here is that honoring our powerlessness can be a different way to let go. And it can help us more patiently approach solving our dilemmas. In therapy, we use a variety of coping strategies to cope with our stressors, memories, negative beliefs, and thinking. We can utilize the framing of power and powerlessness as a coping strategy. We can be powerless. It's okay. It's okay to say we didn't control everything and it messed us up. It's okay to say we ran out of energy, became fearful or sad. We made mistakes. It's okay that even with our limited time in life, we don't have to solve it all right now. Doesn't mean we deny any responsibility, just means that so much of it is out of our control. Accepting a lack of control over everything is a simple admission of powerlessness. Because we can truly control so little. When we look at our obsession with power and accept powerlessness, we're no longer obsessed with being magicians, dragons, world-saving heroes, supernatural beasts, mutants, or gods. We get to just be. And that is powerful. There is power in powerlessness. I'm encouraging you at this point to greet powerlessness with a smile. To remember you don't know all the answers. That you don't have to control every thought, feeling, or person who comes into your life. You don't have to stop planes from crashing, change your partner, eliminate every fear or resentment you have, cure cancer, or eliminate addiction. That is all outside of you, and you are truly powerless. If you want to let go, if you want to feel peace, if you want to alleviate anxiety, fear, anger, depression, guilt, shame, consider thinking about your powerlessness from time to time. Think about the fantasy you formed about perfection. What would it take to obtain it? And logically, how you'll fall short. Yet attempt to apply power to the problem, with the possibility that it still may not turn out perfect. Genuinely allow yourself to feel powerless over these ideas, even for a few seconds. I know that's no easy assignment, and yes, it can and does hurt sometimes. Keep trying, see how you think, feel, and behave as a result. Perhaps you'll be free in those moments, and that is what I'm hoping you got out of this video. See you next time.